So, good morning out there. Andyglobe is my name. So, good morning. Good morning out there. Andyglobe is my name. And I hope you can see my Cubase on YouTube through Facebook. And the Facebook um, will look to my Cubase as well. And I see my Cubase if I'm in right such suggestions of things. Hope you're great out there. Like I said, any globe. And I want to come back to my um, song that I did the last days. And yeah, I tidied up the project a bit. Now all the former versions I deleted now. The demos kind of, and now it's about to yeah to to clean up the project or clean out the samples out. I played a lot of samples to it. I do all the time 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines kind of to choose now from in terms of time and latency issues, what I told you earlier on. Sometimes the processor has a little bit latency, of course. Before we can arrange the song, yeah, sounds great. I put some more drums to it. That will on the next steps. So I have 4 times kind of the same loop. We call this one a loop. Kind of the same part of the song that circles or repeats all the time. So in production music, or at least I think in the speed music, you work a lot of with loops. What is a loop? If a band plays a song, normally I don't know 2 to 3 minutes or 4 minutes, you play the whole song. Maybe on the live gig, you say, okay, this band plays the song 3 4 minutes. But in production music, you work with loops. It says you make kind of the refrain part of it. This is what we call, of course, a loop. Now it's the same part again and the same part again. So what you can do is kind of you if you do your studies, you can pick out the first four, for example, and repeat this. There's a button that says cycling. Um, so you can, for example, you can do this in P. We on the keyboard is P. We can cycle it, so it will repeat all the time the same loop. Would work out for production music maybe, but this is something you have to decide for your own ears. If this is enough for your ears in terms of dynamic, what is the difference? It can sound a little bit too computer, too unnatural because the loop is too short that you will say, okay, this is not really inspiring for my ear. This sounds not really like a live played drummer or a band, this sounds like computer music. So what you can do, you can play two or four of that loops in real time and have more dynamic to it. You will say maybe, okay, this sounds like acceptable or cool to my ears. I can relate or I can work with that um, in terms of I will buy it. That is a band that plays, or sounds to me like real music to me. But this is something you have to decide for your own ears. Maybe in electronic music you can work with smart or small loops that will fit as well. So I think there's no rule. This is music. You will decide stuff for your own ears and by your own conducting. Um, yeah, this is kind of a personal decision. What I came up with in this part of the song or on this song, I will try a long loop. It says it's four times. I will try four times the same plane and yeah and go with a cut from there. So I played 4, 8, 16, 20 times the same loop kind of. I choose from kind of the best parts to finish or to arrange the beat. So let's see about that, how things will work out and go from there. There's another loop one, and I think I do a cut here. Um, I have both. I have the audio and I have the MIDI signal. So sometimes if you're doing a cut on these MIDIs, they will lose your MIDI signal. So what I do is go inside the project and do a little quantization that we have a zero and kind of there to get a nice cut. Yes. So I think the first part sounds cool. We can work with that. Um, if you like, we can clean this up to say, okay, this is our um, main loop. This is kind of the main part of the production that will gets repeated and get chopped and get arranged, yeah, modified, um, quantized, pitched, etc., later on. Let's see about that. So we do a saving, but yeah, maybe we have a more better sounding loop. So we will listen to the other ones as well to have a choosing from. Yeah, sounds cool as well. There was a man who traveled the globe in his black song he wrote, song about peace and joy with the earth. He played for new world begins. Let's see about that. Okay, this was another cool one too. So what we do now is the going through the same process. We have to cut out this one Um, so we have to go. I'll have to look into the midis because here you can. I don't know if you can see this. I think so. We have a little over above the zero. If you cut now here, um, your signal, it will get lost. So we do a little quantization that we have a great siren on this signal. Then we can set a cut, and we have really proper um, to it. Yeah, like I said, this producing of music. Of course, I do my own music. So this maybe I do this track myself. Let's see about that. It's kind of my second love or the root of things. Normally I play guitar and I sing to it, and this is what I really do for for life and for a living kind of. But as a producer and conductor of my own songs, of course I love to produce my own songs. No one can do it better, I think, than yourself most of the time. If you want to do something your way, you have to do it your way. At the end, you cannot really yeah, um, count on someone else, and it's no one else that can do something for you except yourself. So this yes, what I learned: if you want to do or if you want to have something um, your way, you should do it your way. And I love to do um, that as well. So yeah, that's a part of my music being. So let's see. We have to copy here again because maybe you can see this. Sometimes if you cut the midis, it chops your midis or wrecks your MIDI. So you have to copy it again and then go inside the MIDI signal and do some quantization that you have a clean zero kind of later on as well. What is great about to have both signals recorded, you can add later on plugins as well if you like. Um, but let's see about that later on in another video or in another section of it. What I love about the Cubase is that Cubase offers an endless audio signal heaven. It says no matter where you cut the take out, later on, if you stretch the signal, there's always the whole audio signal um, available, and this is, I think, a great a great opportunity what Cubase is serving. Always do your savings, you never know. So I hope you can see my Cubase now. Here on the right side, I do a button over it because yeah, it's about music. Maybe sometimes here and there with my face, but I will concentrate on the music. So I'll look into the screen, not really into the cam. So yeah, there's somewhere my picture, and there's a lot of pictures and videos from my person as well. Sometimes here and there, of course, with my face, but this is more about music, so I want to concentrate more on the music aspect of things. Yeah, we have the second loop. Now we do with the third loop, maybe the same, and the fourth, and we're good to go. Let's listen to the third one. Oh, sounds great. sounded maybe even more better because you have a great ending to it. The ending of that loop sounded to me a bit more attractive than the other one. So let's go do the same. Go do your cuts. The MIDI is always a bit out of range. It's the thing what I came up with, of course, of this computer and all these processes, the digital environment. You always work, of course, with latency, and that what is latency? That that electricity and all these items sometimes, of course, have time holes or time phrases that says here and there you have some milliseconds that are out of order of this hardware and software and all these thousands of processes that seems to react all at the same time. So this is what they call latency. I think no matter how you play your tracks or your loops, there are always some milliseconds that are out of range. And if you have a great project of minutes or hours or whatever, this latency becomes more and more. So if you start on a zero somewhere on hardware, and a minute or 2 minutes later, you're out of that zero a bit. That is what they call latency. It's some milliseconds, and this is of course an add-in later on, and somewhere you will lose maybe in time. So you have all these little time problems, what they call latency, and you have to take care of them later on. And this is what I do at the moment. Try to fix a little bit these time problems by quantization of the signal. Yeah, clean up the samples, and then um, the loops or the track is kind of ready to to get arranged to a song that you say what is the reverb, the refrain part of it, and what is the lyric or the verse part of it. So yeah, spent the yesterday the whole day in Sindelfing, played at the farmers market, then lunch break, and then played on the Wettbachplatz on a couple of restaurants and bars. Was cool for having me. Thanks a lot for letting me play the guitar for you down there. Thanks to Sindelfing, always donating as well into my donate box. Yeah, that's the thing. All you musicians out there, what I learned, go out and play. I was. Music is kind of something you will, or it's kind of you get a mechanic or an architect. It takes many years to learn how to earn music money with your art. I think this is, of course, you start with some guitar playing, some riffing, and say, "Hey, this sounds cool," and maybe the first hit that you have after 3, 4, 5 years of doing it, you say, "Okay, this sounds like a hit song to me." You can watch in my channel as well. I had the songs for "I Don't Care" and stuff maybe 12, 13, 14 years ago, and you can still listen to the song and say, okay, this is a hit song. It's okay. You can listen to that more than 2 minutes, and you can say this is a cool song, and then I listen to it myself here and there. But what I found out is it has nothing really to do with TV. or has nothing really to do with becoming a millionaire or something. To say, okay, now I'm out of work, or I'm off, I'm good. Um, um, what I learned about things, one thing has not really to do with the other thing. Kind of music. I play music for doing a living, so I'm playing, or I'm into my music zone 12 to 15 hours a day. This is what I do for a living all the time. So I'm kind of, yeah, like Martin Knopfler said, I'm doing like everybody else, going to work, like the bank worker, or the I don't know, the architect, or the social worker, or whatever. I have as well my times. I'm starting early in the morning, and and go to bed in the evening. I'm tired, but this is something what I love to do, and I think this is the main part of becoming lucky in life. Do something what you love to do, and the rest is not that important. And I cannot really complain. I'm having it good, and I can expand myself all the time like this. Now I do like kind of anti-globe radio, kind of do my own live sendings, my explainings, my Cubase, producing more and more music. Have it good all the time, you know. I'm a little bit and peaceful guy under the blue sky, who plays his songs and music, and get respect from people, and can make a living out of it. So everything is great, and all you musicians out there, like I said, becoming a professional music in exclamation marks, has to do something with play music, and go out and do your thing. I was like, you know, as a beginner, you have a lot of visions and stuff, but it's at the end, as far as I'm concerned, it's handcraft. You know, if I play a chord, for example, people will say, "Hey, this sounds cool," and you get something out of it. If you don't play chords, you will not get out something out of it. This is kind of the rule. If you make a bill, you get a result. If you do no bill, there is no result. So yeah, music is something you will learn, like an architect, his toolbox. So I learned my toolbox, and after 10 or 15 years of doing music, have enough money to make a little living out of it. And everything else gets built up on this section, like stairs to a skyscraper, from the first etage to the second to the third to the fourth, etc., etc. What is the difference between an normal, or an employee job, and how you say this, um, an independent artist? As an independent artist, you got to have a lot of brave. Of course, you have to knock all the time on doors, and do your thing by yourself. And an employed guy maybe sends a contract, or sends an ask into a company, for example, for Mercedes Benz, and if they allowed you to work there, you can say, okay, I'm out of sorrows, I'm out of afraid beings, I'm served. And as an artist, you're always on the run, kind of. You have to do your own thing. You have to be brave all the time, and this is, I think, the difference between an employed worker in exclamation marks, and independent artist. Yeah, welcome to my radio and more with Andy Globe. So we are on the beat. I think I do 3, 4 minutes. of doing live. I want to go to some lyrics, and I have more videos that's coming to my YouTube from my guitar playing, and studies coming up with new mixtapes and stuff. And there's another song that I had recorded, one and two, for I think 2 3 years ago, and this is ready to get a mixing, which will do a video, maybe more. You will see it as soon as possible as well on my YouTube, and more if you like. So this is now the beat that can get served with vocals and lyrics, and maybe a headline melody on top of it. Let's see about that. Cutting out loops is the and quantize the MIDI below the audio files. Okay, I think this is maybe a cool one. The second one, let's see about that later on. Maybe we use this as song in the middle of the playing. So I think it's very balanced of its latency. I love the sound. Is very deep and very bassy. There was a man who traveled the globe. Him as back a song he wrote. Song about peace and joy within. He played before new world begins. Men with dreams that work comes close. Maybe something like that. Let's see about that. Yeah, I think this is a cool one. What I did more, but later on another video, we can now say, okay, we can double now the drums, that we have a bit more punchiness through the signal, in terms of, okay, this sounds really like a radio production, a bit more professional. So what I did, if you can remember, I started out with the Halion drums, is a plugin of my Cubase, and now I can do some add-ins with the Catron. There's a great tool or a great drum kit, which I found out this morning. It says City Pub, and we can double maybe the signal, but let's have a listen later on. So we get a little bit more drummy, more punchy, more professional to the signal, if you like. If it's needed, let's see about that later on. If vocals on the track, if the track is really later arranged and maybe a little bit more mixed to it, let's see about that if it's needed. But for now, have an enjoying. Yeah, sounds cool. You can turn them a little bit lower if you like. Yeah, I think it turns out a great production. Let's see about. I have to save the project. Sometimes in this computer environment, we have to deal with, I said, with this latency. So a lot of savings and a lot of different names of savings can be from use, that you will have a nice audio signal without any issues in terms of yeah, process problems. Like I said, there's a great function, this backup. It says you can do. I think it kicked me out of Facebook. That's no problem. I think the YouTube is there still. Like I said, this is is of course like a moon landing. You can do live things, watch it to my Cubase, have it on my processor, and this is really outstanding. Outstanding material, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, maybe I don't know if it's working out still. I don't know, but that's yeah. But I think the YouTube's still working. But I'm off. I think 1-2 minutes more, then I'm good to go. Because I have great new lyrics for a great new song. Um, that's so I'm back. So I think I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know really what the track now is, but this is not that important. Check out the terms. Okay, I think I'm back at Cubase on both accounts. Yeah, the last minute kind of my live sending. So what I did is a backup because of you can see my player, but I can see it. And I can tell you there's a little spot that says ASIO-Auslastung. That's what I said. This is latency, and sometimes if you play a lot of bars, computer gets slow, of course. So you have to do a backup. You have to tidying up your project, refresh the project a bit, and then open up the backup, and then you have a really clean new signal like I do now, without crushes, without any issues. Yeah, this is now the beep. Sounds a bit like the Death Row productions to me, or the earlier Dr. Dre and West Coast productions, from its thickness. If someone of you out there can remember, of course, these songs and styles. Yeah, come up with vocals and then arrange the song, or arrange the song later on, and put some vocals and write some vocals to it. Yeah, hope you enjoyed my little send-in this morning. I'm out for now. Like I said, for more you can have a look at my set card around. Have a great morning, Andy Globe. Bye bye. Oh yeah, play the guitar later on at the farmers market Böblingen. If the weather um, um, if the weather is cool, come by if you like. Gets funny as always. Have a great morning, Andy Globe. Bye bye.